my haul video earlier today, I picked up a whole bunch of Monkey Kid sets and some Lego City exclusives on the Lego Shop at Home website recently. I obtained more of the Bionicle GWPs, and I'm going to build one of the sets right here for this live stream. This is 80032, the Chang'e Mooncake Factory. What? Why does it keep happening? That happened in the whole video too. I pronounced Chang'e perfectly fine, and then for some reason I can't pronounce moon. it's silly. It's fun. It's all good. So I technically already own the Chang'e minifigure because when the set released, it was also available on Bricks and Pieces for just the parts of the minifig. So I picked them up through there. However, I still wanted to see what the rest of this thing was about. I did watch the show since that Bricks and Pieces order and was able to understand more context of all this, and I was willing to pick this one up. So let's go right to it. So I will be okay with talking about Monkey Kid up to season 4. Just make sure that if you do want to talk about season 4, that we talk about spoilers and for those who haven't seen up to that point. I think it's okay 3 by now. And yeah, bear with me as well as far as actually getting to the chat, because I do have the camera facing on an angle, so I may not see it while building simultaneously as messages come in, but I will pay attention as much as I can. This set is 609 pieces, includes 3 minifigures, 1 cat, 2 bunnies, and one of those ring pieces. I forget what they're called. There's a name for them. It's kind of interesting that a box this big has 2 punch hole tabs, though. I would have thought they would have the usual tape overs. It does look like... You're right. You're absolutely right. It does look like pugs from the Lego World game. Maybe it was a recycled concept where they're like, oh yeah, that was a cool thing, and then they reinstated it for this game. Like, yeah, you got a good point. I never thought about that before. Points for you. There are imaginary internet points that don't get redeemed for any particular benefits. I have to say that for anyone interested, and then it doesn't come back and haunt me. So we have a whole bunch of bags in here. Numbered bags at that. 6 numbered bags. The windscreen piece, and nice trains clear. I don't think that happens that often. Unfortunately, it does have a few dings on it. Little bits of cardboard dust? Is cardboard dust a thing? Like a little bit of speck on it. But clear piece. And it's not printed. It's not... I don't think it gets stickered in the set from what it looks like on the box. So that's neat. That's useful. I do like those kinds of pieces. I would love to use those for other things. And I like in here, they basically use it as a sort of window for the moon base itself. So for those unfamiliar, as I was when the set was destined to release, I had to catch up a bit on not just Monkey Kid as a TV show, but also Chinese folklore, because Chang'e is actually an established mythological, for lack of a better term, hopefully I don't offend anybody with that. She is a character that is known in Chinese folklore in general, not just specifically to Journey to the West, from what I understand. I did a little bit of catch-up through a couple of YouTube videos about it, explaining the bit of lore that goes with it. Why is she on the moon? Why is there an association with rabbits? It makes a bit more sense that way. I don't think I'm going to be able to justify and explain all of it here, but I will at least clarify, yes, I understand more about this, not just from the Monkey Kid perspective. I do actually enjoy the show. I genuinely enjoy a lot of the episodes, a lot of the characters. I do like that there are more things included with the plot, so it's not just the same villain over and over. Basically, every season or so, we get 1 to 2 villains based on Chinese folklore and, again, Journey to the West at large. So there's a nice variety of different enemies to come across. And with that variety comes different things to build in Lego form. So bag 1 has a small outpost kind of thing. Little flying chair. It's like a Lego movie flying chair, like Abraham Lincoln. Um, then we got parts for the mech, and then the base. So the mech seems to be the most parts conscious aspect of the build. I'd like to give a special shout out to my friend Nick on Planet Ripple. He actually requested to see what the build of this was like, so I thought, hey, why not do this one first? So I will. Oop, need that piece. I should start the timer on this. I usually keep a timer for when I start building Lego sets, so that way I know roughly how long it takes me to build, whether by a certain part count or anything like that. I did stall a little bit for time right there, just to allow, hey, yeah, I opened the bag and now now I'm building it. So I'm trying to play it faithfully. All right. So yeah, this is a change up from what I said on the video where I said, oh, I usually do these on Twitch. I decided for this one I'll do it on YouTube just in case people missed that memo. In case they missed what I said about that these are, I do some backlog building on twitch.tv/maniac4bricks. It's the kind of thing that could want to, use a bit more of the channel itself. It doesn't mean all live streams are going to go onto Twitch. Some of them I would still like to find ways to use on YouTube that maybe wouldn't work as well on Twitch or something. I will figure it out. Stickers. That's kind of funny. Two of these stickers, there's nothing there, but it's just really, it's like whoosh. Like when it goes onto another piece, it'll make a lot more sense. But for now, it fades into the sticker sheet. That's fine. I will say I was not a fan of this wave of sets, particularly when it first released, because I didn't understand the context behind it. And a theme such as Ninjago, Monkey Kid, most Lego IPs, they do require a bit of understanding the story to understand the sets. With that being said, the sets do embellish a bit from what the story offers. So, in Monkey Kid in particular, I can't speak all that much for Ninjago. I have not caught up with it. But when it comes to Monkey Kid in particular, there could be a set released that is featured in the show, but only for an episode or maybe half an episode. Technically, the episode that this particular set is featured in is featured throughout. But there's a rocket ship that gets them to the moon to interact with the set. The rocket ship is its own set and is maybe on screen for a couple of minutes. And I'm a little bit tossed back and forth about that because you have a large set that has very little bearing on the plot. I mean, literally the ship either explodes or they use some alternate way to get back home. I'm assuming they would have used the ship itself to get back, but it's not shown on screen. It does crash land onto the planet, so there's a chance that it's just done. It's just completely unusable. So yeah. That does tend to happen with a bunch of Monkey Kid themed sets, especially the ones that are in the red, yellow, turquoise color scheme. A lot of them are just remodeling from a previous vehicle in some way, which I do like. It does incorporate the building element of Lego, but in reality, they're all different sets, different pieces, so they're not as a fluent thing that you could actually take the original model of a set and then rebuild it to all these other ones. in the same level of detail and scale. So many ideas of modding other city space sets to expand upon it. That's a good idea too. I think potential for this to expand with city. I mean, you basically have like a city reference right here with the sticker on the moon cake and the bunny orbiting around it, very similar to the classic space look of it. Okay, so number 2, right there. Carefully gonna apply that. See, it's all in like a white writing, so it's like a computer screen. But because of that, on a transparent sticker, it's a little hard to read. Like even here, it's giving me a moment to get in the right light to see it. If there was like a darker piece behind it, maybe it would stand out better. But I understand. All right. And then one more thing. Like, I'm not saying that it's bad that the sets exaggerate what's in the show. I mean, it offers a potential to make your own things out of what's, from the show. And, it's not for merchandise of any particular platform, movie or TV show, any kind of merchandise. It's not uncommon for them to expand upon what the initial thing offers, and that you can't actually whatever the word is. Why am I bad at words right now? Gives you more things to play around with beyond the source material, so you can make your own adventures and stories out of it. So here's a good example of that. Sandy's Speedboat, I bought in the Lego store back in 2020. And I like that set, but I didn't like the price. I didn't think it was worth the initial value, but I did like what was included. In the show, it bears very little relevance. It's possibly an episode, or it's maybe 2 episodes worth of context, but mostly like 1 episode revolves with that set. However, the Speedboat, as a boat-themed vehicle, kind of thing, I could use with other oceanic things. I could use it with places that aren't connected to the mainland, such as Flower Fruit Mountain. And therefore, I can get a lot more brevity out of it because of that. I can combine it with... I don't have it right now, and I don't think the Lego store even sells it anymore online. But theoretically, of other boat things... Wow, these are big. These are big. Big dome pieces. Okay. But with other Monkey Kid sets, you could combine them with each other, and you get a more fuller scene out of it. Like, I like that there's underwater Lego sets for Monkey Kid right now. One of the other ones I purchased today as well in my whole video. But that's like one of 2 that are actually taking place underwater. The rest of them can still be above water. You can still have Sandy's Speedboat get them out there to dive underwater. You can have that as an alternate way of, how does Sandy get to the sea, or something like that. You have the whole barge. It's a big set, one of the biggest Lego sets for Monkey Kid as a series. And you could use that as a way of working it into the the oceanic theming. That's what I'm saying is, like, yes, the source material has its own story, but the sets can also invite other stories to play along with them, whether or not in canon, as a set. That's a good thing. I enjoyed one of the Hidden Side sets where I basically made up my own storyline as to, well, almost like an entire episode's worth of storyline for the Shrimp Boat Wreckage. It's a simple set, but it offers just enough pieces to play around with and character to work with that made it interesting to, explore it. explore all those elements and features and things it can do and transformations and things. Mars Mission will come in clutch for modding with the orange. Yes, that's very true. I have to go back and rebuild some of the Mars Mission sets because I, for a long time, have wanted to, in a way, rebirth a comics series that I did when I was a kid, when I owned a bunch of the Mars Mission sets. And back then, I didn't own so many. Now, I don't have the entire theme, but I do have a lot more of them, so I can actually get more out of that's the kind of story I could tell with that. Ship sets with limited screen time, like the later Star Wars movie, Quad Ship, I forget the name, gets blown up but has its own set. Related to the hidden sets, me and my partner made our own sig figs for it and made up our own stories. There you go. That's, yeah, they're definitely cool for, like, if you're in the right mindset, then you could make a lot more of that material. I like following the story. I like understanding why these things are built, but I also want to at least attempt to make something else out of them. I mean, with Monkey Kid, I wanted to take some figures from Ninjago and put them in. With Ninjago, I've wanted to take some figures from Video and put them in. With kind of like mixing around all of those non-human characters between those themes gives me a lot of ideas for stories that wouldn't have happened in their own, canon, in their own universes. I mean, it's basically what the Lego movie did, so it's like coming full circle in a bit. Because it's like, oh, well, you could have a team where there's a wizard, a pirate, a mysterious hooded girl, Batman. Like, yeah, let's throw them in. It's the kind of idea with that. Let me know if there's anything I need to be adjusted on camera, so I can adjust that now, and then we'll be good for the rest of the stream, or at least most of the stream. Oh, I guess I have a new type of that piece. Okay. I do like that there is a level of modularity as we're building right now. The good old double pins back in the days of Life on Mars. I'm trying to think. I think Blacktron 2 had that as well. So that is fun. Oh, there's a piece underneath it, and I gotta put it in first. There we go. But yeah, I've actually thought about that for a while of, even if it's on my own, even if it's not published, but having some form of stories to make out of some of these sets, or, I guess technically the word is fan fiction, yeah, but it's not that kind of fan fiction as most people think of. It's just, here's my own story based on characters. Here's how I would tell you with these kinds of elements, that kind of thing. Again, not promised to be actual content, but at least getting more enjoyment out of these sets from what's available. Yep, mirror build. I knew it. Yeah, same on both sides. Built it faster. Sometimes you could just look at it and say, yeah, I'm going to need those parts again. It also eliminates what's left in the pile. That's my strategy a lot of times. If I can tell something is a mirror build in a set, and I'm building one half of it, I'll try to build the other half at the same time. Okay. let's see now. It's gonna be quite a chunky boy. I actually don't know if there's enough room in here that it'll fit. I think on the box it shows that the main character can fit on here, just on the studs, not actually sitting in that cushiony area. Alright, so be it. I hope Dreams encourages mixing and matching like Hidden Side and Time Cruisers for unique play scenarios. I do too. The potential that Dreams sounds like it can offer, because we don't know that much about it beyond like set names, prices, and set numbers. The potential in there could bring some really cool stuff. It could be very imaginative. I'm trying to say, especially because of the main element of it being dream themed. You know, it's a very abstract thing. It's a very personal thing. You can make a lot of things out of that. You know, so it doesn't have to be as concrete. I'll still build the sets as they're supposed to be built, but hopefully it'll encourage other things. I enjoyed that with Nick on Planet Ripple when he built a couple of modifications for existing Lego sets to make them more Hidden Side themed. And it worked. It actually made a lot of sense. It was very easy. And although I haven't done them myself, I totally get where all that was going. I really should do that. I haven't modified a Lego set in quite some time. And I only have one that I've built recently that I have I have plans. I have plans to modify that thing, and I cannot wait to share about that with you. It's one that I've already actually built on Twitch. I don't think the footage has been published yet to YouTube, but I'll see where it's at. But it's a set that I've had my eye on for a very long time. A set that I was able to get at a pretty fair price. And a set that I know is in drastic need of upgrading. It's a set that's based on a franchise I'm not even interested in, or have not, you know, a deep fondness for it, and say, how dare they make a set this awful when I love this thing? No, not even. It's just looking at this set, I'm like, I think it needs tooling. I think it needs some work. And I'm excited to actually upgrade it. I mean, practically have to rebuild some things from scratch, because it's just a rough foundation as it is. But I'd like that. It is a big motivator for me to do more custom things, especially with the sets and themes. You know, instead of like I do want to make my own stuff and have that based on whatever I want to, but if I can do something to improve an existing property, even if technically the set no longer is in circulation, why not? I mean, it wouldn't put it past me to see Nick do some crocodile things for that dream set based around a crocodile. And there's another moon space themed bunny on there. Cool. I gotta say, this is actually going a little bit faster than I expected to. I mean, I'm not all the way through the set, but at least for this particular part of it, it's working out great. Big dome. With a tiny tail. You're the bunny. It's actually cool that it's like you can connect this on here to be part of the whole mech, but also it comes apart to, reveal some circuitry, some other mechanisms you can do with it. Especially for something this big so far, it feels more substantial. It's like, okay, I can do stuff with this instead of it just being a bulk thing without any play features. Bag number 3. As far as video content, there's a lot of content I want to upgrade, and I actually had an idea, which I briefly mentioned in my haul video, about one of the small, minute changes that LEGO has had over time. I'm going to lower the camera so you can see this a little bit closer. I had a mention of this in my haul video, of one of the minute changes that LEGO had over time that I couldn't help but comment on. I don't know if it's worth making a full video about it, and by full, I mean several minutes, not like 20-minute, hour-long. I know some people have certain parameters for content creation. I don't want to make a video that's insanely long and filler and not necessary. Because I could ramble. I mean, hell, I almost rambled in the haul video itself. But either way, it's like, okay, I kind of think it would be cool to talk about that because it's a change, it's a subtle thing, but it's like also kind of a charming thing that LEGO did for a time, but now they don't. Oh, whoops. Wrong side. There we go. One of the legs, I think. I like how 1x5 plates are just so easy to find now. It's like, oh yeah, it's right here. Yeah, we threw in a bunch of them. Why not? There's actually some posts that I've made through social media, especially through Twitter, sometimes Instagram, that I thought could be some video in their own way, but I'm still trying to work with a new editing program so I can actually enjoy the process of it, and it's not a lot of backtracking and things. I know editing isn't really my favorite thing to do, but it's a necessary thing a lot of times. But I'm also like, well, I should probably do it in a way that I can actually, keep it going. Instead of it just being cranked out every once in a while at a really good, quality or something. Anyways. Can't go through a live stream without a little bit of content talk. It's just how it happens. Wait, really? Oh, wait. Oh. Okay. So it goes like that? Okay. Another sticker. Okay. I do want to try to build a matching or Kopaka figure in both the scales of the gift with purchase and the 90 years of. I don't think I'm going to be able to build it out of the 90 years of play set as I would like, because some parts just aren't available in certain colors, but that's okay. But as it is, um, both of them have a scale that can be understood and hopefully create something neat. I've seen some people make neat stuff last year. That's it? That's the foot? Yeah, it seems a little light, but okay. I thought it was going to be more on the foot itself, but okay. Um, and that's a personal thing. Like, yeah, of course I would like to make the entire Toamata team in those scales. And I know people who already have, which is good. That is very cool. For me, I would like to build Kopaka next because it would be in a way that's a tradition from when my brother and I, my older brother and I, had grown up with Bionicle. Because we got our first Bionicle figures in 2001 at Toys R Us. I got Tahu, and he got Kopaka. And every wave of figures after that, we would eventually get the rest of the Toa, but the first two that we picked up, one for each of us, for each Bionicle wave after that point, for the Borak, the Borak Call, the Rakshi. Actually, I'm not even sure the Rakshi. Toa Nuva? I don't remember if it was exactly like that. I know it was for Toa Metru. That one, like, some of them are a little fuzzy. I'm not entirely sure every detail, but across the board, generally, we would choose the fire and ice figures first to pick up. In the case of the Borak Call, those were the only two figures that we had growing up for that, for that particular wave. But to be fair, they were the same things as the Borak, so it wasn't like story relevant, kind of. But when you already had 6 Borak, do you really need 6 more Borak Call? It was really just Lego saying, hey, we already did good with this. These were highly successful, so let's just run them again, change a couple colors around. This is also at the time that Lego was very financially bankrupt. So it was a cost-cutting measure where it's like, yeah, people already like these, and we don't have to produce that many more parts to change them. Let's just run them again in a different color scheme. So as far as across the board, what I can remember is that my brother and I had gotten the fire and ice ones of most waves of Bionicle first. I don't remember distinctly for the Toa Nuva or the Rakshi, because I remember obtaining some of them, but not all of them in like what particular ways we got them. So, for example, I got Pohata Nuva from Amazon because for my birthday I was given an Amazon gift card, and I used that gift card to purchase not only that figure but also one or two of the basketball sets from Lego Sports that were released at that time. And then the rock sheet, I can remember. Oh, whoops. On the wrong side. There we go. With the rock sheet, I can remember distinctly that we had at least looked at them in the catalogs and wanted to get them ordered. I don't remember exactly if that's how we got the brown and black ones. I don't remember the names off the top of my head, so don't at me. I don't remember if that's exactly how we got them. So, but I also don't remember how we got the rest of them. Red, white, blue, green. No idea. It just does not come up in my mind. So that's why some details there are fuzzy. But I can distinctly remember coming home to after Toys R Us, again, of course, getting the Nuju and Vakama Metru figures. I really enjoyed that. I'm very happy that I have some of my memories like completely intact, photographically intact, because especially last year, I was very concerned about the things I could remember, whether short term or long term, and I'm still kind of worried about that to some extent, but that's why I like making videos. That's definitely a big push for me, making a lot of posts and video content and things like that, because I can at least back up what I can remember on another platform. There we go. Well, the legs are stable enough that it can actually hold the body, which is, rather big and rounded. Okay, yeah, those are the extra pieces. So they'll go over here. I don't know why, but it kind of gives me an Overwatch vibe for the way this mech is built. I'm not entirely sure how I can explain that, especially because of the Overwatch sets that I've built. I don't think any of them were mech based. Oh, we need that. Oh, yeah. Hold on. Where is it? Oh, it's in the bottom of the box. Yeah, that's important. It got stuck at the bottom of the box, which is why it didn't show up. Welcome, Jeff. How's it going? Sorry, it turns out I'm talking about Bionicle. I didn't know when you're coming in, but I'm just rambling here. I keep some conversation afloat. So I am at 4 out of 6. We're halfway through building the Mooncake Factory set from Monkey Kid. So we'll see where that all goes. I could always save Bionicle conversation for another time, because this is... I kind of was on a tangent. I only mentioned it because of the gift with purchase. But yeah, we can move on to other things. So this weekend, Atlanta Brick Co. is hosting a convention, which is cool. I mean, I've met them. I've been with them a couple times at other conventions. And I think it's really cool that they are hosting something out there in Georgia. I couldn't go myself. Did not have anything for preparing for that, but I think it's cool nonetheless. And from what I can tell, a lot of people are enjoying the builds there. It's kind of a nice thing, especially because Brick Fair Alabama didn't happen this year. So that region of LEGO fans who enjoy the conventions, and especially in the East Coast, that's not a thing they could go to. Because Brick Fair Alabama, for whatever reason, didn't happen, and is instead the Brick Fair that comes before Virginia, as is usually every year, is going to be in not Fairfax. Give me a moment. It's in another part of Virginia, but it's not at Chantilly, and that's in March. So it wasn't like mid-January like it usually is for Alabama. Camera's at an angle, so give me a moment while I catch up with chat. Just got home from the North Dallas Toy Show. Got some Lego for a song and some action figures. I'm good. Glad you had a good day. Nice to check out a toy show there. I don't think I had. Well, maybe I did have this stud launcher in another set. Okay, good. Making sure it's put on the right way. We're gonna have to build that on the opposite side. Okay, good. These are both the same way. Easy to add. Like that. I got a lot of sets in the backlog right now, and that's perfectly fine. There's no rush for me building most of them. But I do like to add in a few every so often just to get that building urge, get it going. There are a lot of mocks that I want to build, so it's just a matter of clearing the right space in order to build them. Okay, this is on there, and then yep, mirrored on the other side, sticker applied. Cool. Already zoomed ahead a couple pages. There's been mock ideas I've had for years that I've wanted to build. There's some recently that I've actually had an idea to build, but it's a little more technic based, so it's going to be a little more complicated. But it would be great if I could pull it off. The kind of things that maybe would be good for Brick Fair Virginia, especially in the technic aspect. Every Saturday, first Saturday of the month is a show. So with the job I have, I get to go every month. Nice. Friends in the action figure community, love down there. So it's fun to hang out with them and look at all the shinies. Good plan. Yeah, the next show that I have I'm going to will be Brick Fair in Virginia. So that's the one I mentioned before. I don't think there's any gaming conventions. Well, Too Many Games is going to be in June. So that's going to be before Brick Fair Virginia in July, August. I can't think if there's any local shows. in the state that I'm going to. I have to look at the calendar again. Because the only one I can think of is the one in March. So I still got about a month. So it's towards the end of March, so it's like a month and a half away. So that's going on there for the ears. Oh, other way. There we go. I guess technically there's a mirror build, but I decided to build one at a time this time. There we go. I'd like to think that as a vehicle, the ears are like some kind of like sensors or like some kind of antenna or something. Like I would love thinking that this has some kind of like legitimate reason for its design or some of its features, even though it looks like a rabbit. Because I don't think they really emphasize on it in the show. They just kind of show that it's there. It's like, oh, we got to sneak past the bunny guard. This big, automated mech. I don't think the bunny's piloted. But I like that they give you the option in the set. Come on, fit in there. There we go. Bunch of orange pieces left over. I think that's for the stud shooters. I mean, this by itself is kind of a cool little vehicle. Except two bunnies traveling. It's also designed to fit inside of there. The big canopy piece. I mentioned before about the Mars mission. So yeah, this definitely has a lot of that coloring to it. The white, the orange, the trans-orange bubble. Very cool. Oh, that's even better. Okay, that's a nice surprise. So I mentioned before how the tailpiece is actually able to pop off, and you have like this little circuit board and this little door that opens. They actually show you in the set that you can fit the ammo in the back of here. So I thought before, like, oh yeah, it makes it like a solid build while also being functional. Now I understand what that function is. So I like that. That is very nice. From a play perspective, it's a good way to use it. I've still got a few of them left over. Just move the extra pieces out of the way. So, first impression, after just building it, I kind of would like if this had a little bit more range to it than up and down, but I understand as a projectile, it's fine. The whole shape of it got a very pug-like design, as someone mentioned earlier in the chat, resembling the pug vehicle from Lego Worlds, the vehicle that you start out in and use to travel other places. Yeah, not a lot of articulation points. You can still get some sort of walking pose out of it if you wanted to. Although I could imagine, just like in some video games, this would probably be more of a hopping vehicle because of its rabbit-like nature. I forget what game it's called, but it was like the first 3D game or something like that that had this sort of rabbit-like mech that hops around on different platforms. Yes, I am. BFAB, welcome to the stream. Building some of the sets that arrived recently. One bag 5 of 6. I'm just checking out the fully built model of the bunny mech. So yeah, I definitely like this thing. It's definitely nicer in person than how it looked on other things first. So yeah, kind of neat. Nice rounded view. So technically, the episode that this involves in Monkey Kid, it's that they're looking for these kinds of flaming rings that are scattered across different areas, and it's supposed to unlock an ultimate power when assembled. So one of the rings is found to be in this mooncake factory that's on the moon. So they build a rocket ship out of the main parts of, like, you know, the other vehicles. Those like yellow, red, turquoise vehicles that show up in a lot of Monkey Kid sets. They repurpose that into a rocket ship, and then they fly off to the moon to obtain it. Now with Pixie, he's a cook, so he's already... What was that? He was going to buy the Monkey Kid sets he recommended, but they were all out of stock or on back order. Yeah. I kind of wish that they had a little longer lifespan if they're going to be online exclusively. Kind of a bummer. There's a bunch of sets I've seen on back order lately. I'm glad these weren't. These arrived like not too long after I placed an order on them. I almost feel like I need to build the other Monkey Kid sets soon, just to give you a better recommendation. Like, oh, I have more of these, and now I can tell you more of them to recommend or not. I personally was interested in not just the ones that I had from the haul video, of course, but also, especially with like the two $20 ones, because they actually combine with each other. And they're smaller versions of other mechs and jets and things that we've seen from the theme. Like, canonically, I don't know if they're supposed to be that way, but it almost feels like they're treated that way. And I think that's a good thing. It's like, oh, you can't afford the over $100 Monkey King mech that we had when the theme started, or the one we just released. Here's a $20 option. Then you can still get some of that vibe out of it while being in a smaller set. I think that's cool. It's also cool that each of those sets can combine with each other. The jet one and the mech one. Where is it? It's probably written in front of my face and I can't see it. Yep. They're just turned upside down. There we go. Like, I think the moon base, just looking at this, could have been bigger, but maybe it'll be okay for its size when I get it all built. On the boxes, or, you know, the pictures online, it didn't look that impressive to me. Because like I said, or as I now say, most of the parts go into the actual, you know, the mech, more than the actual the mooncake factory of which the set is named. But I also don't know how much you would really need. Like, in context of the show, you probably wouldn't need to make a whole lot for the set. Like, well, this makes mooncakes, and it's a factory, and you gotta get that out of a small package. I don't know. I think it has room to expand, even if it doesn't offer that in the set. Interesting piece there. All right, another one, number 6. I definitely gotta put, like, it's gonna be difficult for me to put all the Monkey King or Monkey Kid sets on the same shelf. As it is right now, I have 2, maybe 3 of them on a singular shelf. But because I want to share the shelf real estate with other themes, it also means I can't put a lot of those sets like all around. Like, I could build all the Monkey Kid sets and then put them across multiple shelves, but then I wouldn't have room for anything else. And I don't know. I think it's like I would rotate some of them where it's like, oh, I want to have these sets out from this theme while still having other themes available. I'm still working on that in the Lego room. I'm still trying to, like, one of the big things about it is rebuilding the Lego Beach Town and putting that, shelf organization together. Because currently, the shelves are some of the shelves are occupied by the Beach Town stuff. So that's kind of a 2-for-1 getting them done at the same time thing. Joey is the reason wait, I missed one there. New 20 Monkey Kids sets. Nice. Always take your advice first on cycle. Thank you. That's it's high props. It's high praise, especially because I haven't done any set reviews in a long time. So that's I appreciate that. To get the Bionicle Promer, let me look at what Joey said, but then I looked and sets were either retired or on back order, so I settled for the Undersea. So yeah, the Undersea Dragon is one I got. It arrived yesterday, so I'm hoping to enjoy building that, especially because I like underwater stuff, Let's see. Gonna start buying more Monkey Kid sets to prove to Lego we're supporting original themes. I think I only watched season 1 of Monkey Kid and lost track. Joey is the reason Monkey Kid is still continuing since you're buying all the sets. Practically. That is another thing of it. It's like I genuinely enjoy the set so far, the show as it is. I really wish Amazon was better on actually distributing them. And I wish Lego was better on distributing them in the stores. But for whatever reason, they gave up on that. Even though I was buying them in the stores as well. So, yeah. Amazon is not really particularly great, though they do have a bunch of Monkey Kid seasons on there. They are very slow to let them out. Like, I think it was only in December or so that they released season 3, which was already available almost an entire year ahead of that in other regions. It's like, I want to watch it, but you are not letting me. And then I was able to watch season 4, so now I'm caught up on just about every episode, which again helps me understand why sets like this exist and then get more enthused about building them and what I could do with them. But yeah, I believe I've said it even to somebody at the Lego store, even though I know they don't have any hearsay, really. That, I enjoyed buying the Monkey Kid sets when they were in the stores. It was easy to see them, and now, I don't only get to find them online. Especially with the the gift with purchase offer right now, it's a win-win for me because it's like, oh, so I can buy Monkey Kid sets, an existing IP that Lego is somewhat supporting in the West, that I can obtain a Bionicle set that I also want. Oh, these are the wrong color? Yes, they are. All right, let me fix that. And then all I gotta, yeah, it's like a win-win. Like, I wouldn't be surprised of getting more Monkey Kid sets just for this kind of, this bit of motivation. I, in general, have tried to plan out gift with purchases around the sets that I want. So I may not be day one for every Lego set that releases. Actually, no. There are very few that I am day one purchasing because I realize that, hey, this set will be around for a while, or even if it goes out of stock immediately, they'll make more of it at some, later time. I wanted to be day one for the Back to the Future DeLorean. Oh, sorry, getting a